It bypasses your critical conscious mind and goes straight into the subconscious.
You're about to hear a life-changing speech from Brian Tracy. Relax, take notes, and watch this entire video so you don't miss anything that can have a huge impact on your life.
Software for the brain. There are 4 advanced programming techniques you can use for rapid behavioral and attitudinal change. So we now realize the absolute necessity of changing our thinking. So how can we speed it up? And how can we do it faster? We can combine a variety of different proven methods so that we can get results very quickly. The first is written programming technique. It's based on the fact that we take in information 3 different ways. First of all, auditory. We hear information, and when you write something down, you actually sub-vocalize it. You say it to yourself. And visual, we see it, so you see the words that you are writing down, which makes an impression on your subconscious mind, on your brain. And third is kinesthetic, feeling. And when you're writing, you're actually feeling. Your body is involved in it, and you actually think about and feel the emotion that goes with the goal. So every time you write down a goal, and I write down my goals almost every single day, write them and rewrite them over and over again, you're reprogramming them into your brain using all 3 senses, auditory, visual, and kinesthetic. So what you do is you practice this technique each morning. You rewrite your major goals as positive, present tense, personal affirmations. Every goal that you write down always begins with the word I. I earn, I achieve, I weigh, I am, I make, I do. So it's always I plus an action verb. Then you close your eyes and you visualize your major goal or goals of the day as if they were already accomplished. So you say, I earn X number of dollars, and visualize yourself actually performing the service from which you would earn the money. Is I weigh X number of pounds. Visualize yourself actually exercising or eating very lightly, or doing something that you would be doing in order to achieve the goal. I acquire a certain net worth. Visualize yourself depositing money in the bank so that it builds up. I live debt-free. Imagine yourself paying off your debts one after another. Just write it down and feed your mind a picture. And it goes straight, it bypasses your critical conscious mind and goes straight into the subconscious. Imagine the feeling of pleasure you would have as if you had achieved the goal already. Just sort of feel the pleasure. Feel being debt-free. Feel being light and thin. Feel driving a beautiful car. Feel yourself, I take a 2-week Hawaii vacation to Hawaii. See yourself or visualize yourself walking on the beach in Hawaii. And the law of relaxation says that in all mental working, effort defeats itself. So if you want to drive nails, you hit harder to drive the nail. If you want to achieve a goal with your mind, you relax and you make no effort at all. You completely relax as you feed the goal in. When you go to work, you work with intensity. But when you're feeding the goal in, you just completely relax and just allow it almost to soak into your subconscious mind with no effort. The rule is no trying. No trying. You don't make any effort to try while you're writing, visualizing, and feeling your goal being achieved. Now the second method is the quick programming technique that I told you that our friend Rob uses prior to his karate competitions. The quick programming technique is for something that's immediately coming up, like you are going into a meeting or you're about to make a sales call. It's for a single event that is happening once. And this technique is used immediately before any significant event of importance. You want to be at your very best, so what you do is take the 3 steps. 1 is visualize the perfect outcome. I have worked with salespeople and 2 groups of salespeople, and I had the same interesting feedback. One person said, I tried that method and it didn't work. The other one said, I tried the method and it worked like a darn. So what the first person did is they visualized a really good sales conversation. Positive, they were confident, the prospect was happy and confident, and it went really, really well. But it did not end with a sale. It ended with let me think it over. The second salesman went in, but he visualized the person signing the contract and giving him the signed contract with a check at the end of the sales meeting. And he walked out with a check. They had a situation between 2 of the major league teams. One was the Miami Dolphins, and I think the other was the New York Jets. I forget what it was, but they were in the Super Bowl, whenever that was, some years ago. And the Dolphins ran roughshod over the other team and won the Super Bowl. And they asked them afterwards, what happened? And they gone back and did all kinds of postmortems. They said, well, all through the season, the New York Jets were visualizing in their in their locker rooms. They were visualizing getting to the Super Bowl all season long, and they got into the Super Bowl. But all season long, and they were visualizing running onto the field in the Super Bowl as the Super Bowl contenders. The Dolphins were visualizing running off the field as the Super Bowl winners. And so the Dolphins had programmed themselves to win the game so they could run off as the victors. The Jets had programmed themselves to run onto the field as in the Super Bowl. So one had programmed it just not far enough. And that's why with the sales guys, one sales guy visualized a great sales experience, the other one visualized a close of the sale and getting the check. And I've had countless salespeople tell me it's quite amazing. It ended exactly the way they visualized it. So second of all, affirm the visualization. Instead of saying, this is a wonderful sales call, saying, I close this call with happiness for everybody involved. Or I walk out of this meeting with the check in hand. Visualize yourself and the customer shaking your hand and happy and giving you the check. And then emotionalize it and release it. Feel how happy you'll be when you make that sale. Just emotionalize it and then just let it go and go in. So this is quick affirmation technique, and you do this before every non-recurring event of importance. If something comes up and it's time, you want to meet a new person in a nightclub. You just visualize, affirm, and let it go and walk up. And you'll perform at your best. You'll be relaxed, you'll be comfortable, you'll be personable. It's a great way for building relationships. So software for the brain, the mental rehearsal technique. This is often called sports affirmation technique. It is used all over the world. In fact, a few years ago, they said by 2001, there will be athletes who use this method and athletes who are no longer in competition. Because all top athletes are trained in mental rehearsal. They're trained to rehearse their event over and over again. Figure skaters rehearse their event over and over again with the added benefit that in mental rehearsal, you never fall. In mental rehearsal, you never fall. So they can do it. They play the music, and they lay down, they close their eyes, and they just listen, and they go through their entire routine in their mind over and over again. And when they skate onto the ice, the subconscious mind says, hey, I've been here. I do this perfectly, flawlessly. So the mental rehearsal technique, the process of living the experience on the inside before having it on the outside. Living the experience, getting the feeling. Before any important event, top performers recall and relive excellence. This is one of the techniques that Bella Caroli taught Mary Lou Retton. The importance of visualizing and seeing perfect performance over and over again. Because remember I told you that if you do it and once and it's a perfect performance, but then you visualize the performance over and over, every time you visualize it or remember it, your subconscious records it as another successful performance. So you can take one success and repeat it over and over again, and every time you do, you predispose yourself to doing that successfully. So we say the major difference between winners and losers is that prior to every upcoming event, losers think of past failures. They think of the time that it didn't work. And winners insist on reliving and recalling past successes. They think of themselves as the last time they did this and they were really successful. And they choose to play that over and over again. Of course, the more you play it, the more you feel like a winner, the more your self-esteem and self-confidence goes up, and the more likely you are to perform better when you do it again. So constantly feeding this picture into your mind is, my friend Mark Victor Hansen says, when you think of a negative picture or a previous failure, you say, cancel, 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 cancel. You cross it off, cancel, cancel, and don't allow the picture in your mind. It's almost like the picture's got poison. Don't let it into your mind. Cancel, cancel, get it out of your mind, and instead think of a success experience. Now, sometimes people say, well, what if I haven't had a success experience yet? Well, then imagine one, because your subconscious mind can't tell the difference. If you imagine a success experience, your subconscious mind records it as if it actually happened. And if you imagine a success experience over and over again, your subconscious mind keeps recording, and it predisposes you to success. Then, when you have the success experience, you've got a tremendous reinforcement of the mental picture, When I was talking to Rob the other day, he was so happy, he was bouncing, he was brimming, he was so excited because it worked, and he actually won the silver medal in this very, very large competition because of this practice. So when he goes back in next time, he is doubly motivated and doubly convinced that he can do it. So think about what you desire and not about what you fear. Whenever your mind begins to drift to thoughts that you don't want, say very loudly the word stop. Stop. If you find yourself becoming upset or angry or thinking about something that makes you unhappy, you can stop it. It's called a pattern interrupt in psychology. It's just like a slap on the face to an hysterical person. Remember in the movies you see the person's hysterical and they slap them in the face to stop them? That's called a pattern interrupt. It's a verifiable method to stop a particular behavior. When you start to think about something that makes you unhappy, what you do is you say, stop, stop, and you just sort of slam on your mental brakes. You're driving around and you speak to yourself, or if you're even in a meeting or with other people and you start to think of something, say to yourself, stop. And what happens is it stops. It's like whacking the arm of the needle off the record. It stops and immediately replace it with a positive thought. Immediately replace it by thinking about your goal or thinking about something that you want. But you've got to have a clear mind. So just stop and interrupt the pattern. Immediately shift your thinking to your desired outcome. So you're starting to think and worry about whether or not this is going to be successful. Immediately go, stop. Start thinking about what it would look like if it was successful. The standard affirmation technique has 7 steps. And this is a method that you can use that is extremely powerful. You can set up to 10 to 15 goals in the standard affirmation technique. Your mind can work on 10 to 15 goals at a time. Beyond that, in most cases, it goes into overload. And besides, it becomes too cumbersome for you to start reviewing 20 or 30 goals every day. So 10 to 15 goals is ideal. You do the exercise 2 times daily, morning and evening. And this method is very powerful. You arrange for no interruptions. You sit quietly by yourself where there's no interruptions. And then you write your goals as positive, present tense, personal affirmations on index cards. So you take an index card like this, and we'll be providing you with index cards tomorrow to write down goals. And you just write the goal in big, bold letters. I weigh X number of pounds. I earn X number of dollars by December 31st, 2011. You write it down so it's big, bold, clear. A child can understand it, and you can see it clearly. So when you look at it, your subconscious mind takes a photograph of that, like a Polaroid. It takes a flash photograph, and that photograph is filed into your subconscious mind. So you look at this, you write it down, and make it clear, 1 goal per card, big, bold letters. And so you look at and then you read and you repeat it. I earn X number of dollars by December 31st, 2011, and then you close your eyes. And you just see yourself receiving a check for that amount. You see yourself depositing a check. You see yourself with a stack of money in front of you. You see yourself driving a new car, whatever the goal means, or you even see yourself doing what you would be doing to earn that amount of money. And then you visualize the outcome. You see yourself completely successful. You see yourself as the top person in your field. You see yourself with the money or driving the car or wearing the clothes. And then you imagine the feeling. How would you feel? So to say again, you write it on the card, you visualize it, you close your eyes, you see yourself enjoying it, you feel, you repeat it, you visualize the outcome, and then you get the feeling that would go with it. And then you go to the next card. And you do this twice a day, first thing in the morning, and in the evening before you have dinner. It takes about 5 to 10 minutes to do it, and it just keeps feeding these commands into your subconscious mind until at a certain point they lock and things start to happen for you. When you do it in the morning, all day long, you'll be seeing opportunities to achieve your goal. When you do it in the evening, you'll be programming your mind with these goals for the night.